So I just wanted to touch on sitters for a moment. Now, you might need a sitter for a specific reason. You might have a holiday or a work commitment coming up. You may just be a savvy player who realizes that life happens, and sometimes you may unexpectedly be away from the computer for some time and need a caretaker in place. Or it might be a requirement of your corporation that you have them there. If you were part of my corporation, that would be a requirement. So let's take a look at sitters, talk about what they can and can't do, and find out how we'd set one up and how we'd dismiss one. Now you can have two sitters at any one time, which is probably a pretty smart move, and you can also sit for two people at any one time. And that's not set in stone. You can change that quite easily at any time throughout the game. Now to access where you would set up sitters and deal with that sort of thing, you would simply just click onto your profile, head to profile options. Down the sidebar here, you'll see a little thing that says sitter. We'll click onto that. And at the moment you see that I already have two sitters, so I'm actually going to just dismiss one. Are we sure we want to do that? Yes. And it's as simple as that. So that's how easy it is to lose a sitter. Now a sitter can take over your account for you after you haven't logged into Rail Nation for at least 12 hours. Or if you have two sitters, either you or the other sitter hasn't logged into Rail Nation for at least 12 hours. Let's add another sitter. Let's get Wiggler back here. So you just start typing in the name of the person who you'd like to be your sitter. Click the tick box. Are you sure I want to add him? Yes, I do. Now you'll notice over here there's a series of tasks, and most of them are checked by default, but not all of them are. So you can check and uncheck some of these depending on what level of access that you'd like this other player to have. So I'm happy for him to change my schedules, construct tracks, sell engines and railway cards, invest in facilities and bid on licenses. I'd also going to check this box because I'd also like him to be able to make a donation for upgrading the HQ, if for some reason he needed to do that while I was away. So I'm just going to save those settings now, and that's done. If I was sitting for someone else, this is what I would do. I would head over to sitter for other accounts. Okay, I'd be able to see what access I have there, but of course I can't switch to this person yet for another 10 hours and 58 minutes. Okay, so he's obviously just been online an hour ago, but that's how you would access that if you needed to. Now, what a sitter can do automatically by default, just for the fact that you've made them a sitter, is they can spend your research points, which is a very good idea. You don't want those going to waste, especially early in an era when your lab isn't up very high, so every research point certainly counts. They can upgrade stations for you. So if you know that you're going to be away, one of your upgrades is happening, or you'll have enough money at a certain time, you can say, hey, do you think that you might be able to upgrade my engine shed or something along those lines. They can collect your station bonuses for you, such as that. They could also redeem medals for you. I'm not redeeming any of mine at the moment because I'm saving them up. I'm trying to keep as low a prestige as possible until I get the starter pack, but that'll be another screencast. They can service your engines, which is a very important thing. They can scratch your free lotto tickets. They can enter competitions for you. And they can usually buy wagons and engines and things like that. What they can't do is they can't read your messages. They can't change your profile. They can't use the forums as you. Okay? They can't leave the corporation, change corporations, anything like that. They can't do anything with gold, which is really important to remember. So if you are going to be away for a while and you have a Plus account, it's important to keep in mind that that Plus account is going to, if that's going to expire while you're away, even if you have a whole heap of gold sitting there, your sitter's not going to be able to do a thing for you. The Plus account will expire, so the time to get your research points will be a little bit longer, but the biggest problem with that is the capacity of your bank is immediately going to halve. It's also going to be a great big nuisance for them when they're scheduling trains for you, because they'll have to do that one at a time. The other thing that they can't do, relevant here if you have a Plus account, is even if you have Plus, the timetable calculator won't work for your sitter. Okay, so it's going to be harder for them to find quick cash routes for you if that was what was needed. And probably the other thing worth noting is a sitter, someone using the account as a sitter, cannot bid on workers. So I hope that's helped someone who maybe doesn't know much about sitters or what they can and can't do, and happy hauling.